So we're on. Okay, how's it going, everybody? It's Mark Scanlon here for Real Man Coaching, and we're doing a member spotlight this morning. So we have big Colm Walsh on. Colm is a member that has been with me for probably over a year and a half now, Colm. And what I want to do with this series is just to shine a light on the successes that members on our online training program, formerly Embrace Lean Man, now Real Man Coaching. I love to change stuff up. Just to share that the lads on this program that are getting the results, the lads that are committing and getting the results, achieving their goals, are just normal people who have other responsibilities in their life, work, family, busy life schedules, but they're taking control of their fitness and their well-being and prioritizing their health. So good morning, Colm. Yeah, about a year and a half that we've been knocking around together, or that I've been coaching you.
Yeah, it doesn't seem that long. Jeez, yeah, it would be.
Yeah, when you look at it, like with COVID and everything as well, it probably has thrown things off a little bit, but we've stuck with it online. So, Colm, I'll just go over to you. I just want you to share your story, maybe before you started with myself on the coaching program, what you were doing, and then just your journey from there.
Well, I suppose one of the main reasons I joined up with the program with yourself, Mark, was that like when I ended playing football, and training seriously, over the years you'd always get into a cycle of doing a bit of running, losing a bit of weight, stopping, then never really focused on food or routine. You'd have a mad burst, and then basically it'd fall away, and then you look at the scales, and then you're after putting on a stone, and then you have to start over at the start again and back.
Yeah.
You'd be like a bouncing ball, really.
Yeah. And that's every man's story, or not every man's story, but that's a lot of men will be able to relate to that. I think, like, particularly when we stop playing sport, or when we stop playing with teams, or committing to other things in the community, then we can go on that kind of roller coaster, and it can be frustrating as well, can't it?
Very, very, very frustrating. As I say, you get the big buzz. You'd make great steps forward, maybe drop a stone. You think you're over the line, and then slowly your old habits go back.
Yeah.
Start, as I said.
Yeah. And you'd have a fairly busy schedule, like if you've kids, you've busy work, your family life, your wife, everything that comes with that. So, yeah, I suppose I just wanted to show that it's not like this program, the Real Man Coaching, isn't for people that want to spend 3 or 4 hours in the gym, that have like every day, that don't have an awful lot of time, but you're still prioritizing your health and that. So I just kind of, if you don't mind, if you wanted to touch on that, kind of like how you fit things in. Actually, start with when you first came onto the program and your goals, and then maybe
well, really, my goal was obviously body composition. I wanted to drop weight. I wanted to get fitter. I was a bit apprehensive at the start because, like, strength and conditioning, even in my past days back when I used to play football, it wasn't really the focus. It was more like doing 30 laps around the park and being able to run. But that was a bit of a, would I be able to get into that? But I found that very rewarding, and sort of that the whole program helped me to develop. And with the app and your training sessions, it gives you the ability to build a routine that suits you. There's a lot of flexibility. Like in the past, I did do your gym sessions pre-COVID, but one thing I found about the gym, it is real more regimental. You have to be there on the time at them dates. But if you have work or something like that, that might mean that you lose a training day on that particular week. Whereas the flexibility of the app and the home training is basically you get flexibility just to build the training around your week, because your week will never be the same every week.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's a great point as well, that you were coming in with a low experience or a low level or a low training age around strength training. And I think there can be a little bit of a stigma around strength training, or lack of knowledge maybe around strength training, that what it is. Like some people would kind of think of it being more bodybuilding training, or it might be powerlifting, or it might be something like that. But I think you made a good point there that, and with the flexibility of training from home, that you don't need an awful lot of equipment. You don't need to be spending an awful lot of time focusing on it, but the benefits of it are massive as well. And I've seen that across the board, that training at home, if you have an adjustable dumbbell, a TRX, and maybe a medicine ball or a foam roller, you can really train for life. And I've said that on numerous times to the lads that I coach. But just kind of, it'd be great to kind of chat about the things that you struggled with, maybe from the strength side of things at the start, and how you develop that and move forward.
Well, look, in my type of work, I don't do any physical work. It's all office work. So my upper body strength at the start would have been very, very weak for a man my size, and over the time, building bicep strength and upper body strength in the shoulders. As you know, the arch nemesis was push-ups, and
Yeah.
what I've progressed over the length of the program has really surprised me. And even I'm not really body conscious, but you can notice the muscle development and the building the strength in your arms, and it's not a magic overnight thing. It's gradual. If you put in the effort, you just see it coming over time. And that was a surprise, because I wasn't expecting. Really, my goal wasn't to build muscle or lean. It was more just get the scale weight down and make sure the G was a bit looser on you. That was my objective,
Yeah. No, deadly. And I was going to say on that, yeah, and like, so you progress through the level. So like, one thing in the way that I coach, and I want people to be able to see that no matter what your starting point is, like whether it's, say, you're weaker in the upper body and you might be the best at push-ups at the moment, there's a level 1, there's a level 2, there's level 3, level 4. You can go up, but I think you have to be willing to do that as well. Some people kind of, maybe they have a misconception about themselves that they're going to come in and be able to bench press the world, whereas you haven't actually done much upper body training, or you haven't developed your push-up, and that can be unrealistic. But yeah, that's the strength side of things. So maybe if we touched on the nutrition side of things as well, and some changes that you've made, because I know you've made some significant changes, and you've been able to incorporate it into your routine and your lifestyle.
Yeah, but look, again, nutrition wasn't something really that when I jumped on board, I know it was part of the package, but I just said, right, okay, that's on the side, and really when I'm going to drive into the training, and that'll be a bit of window dressing if I do it great. But I learned a lot about nutrition, how that impacts everything. At the end of the day, what you put into your body is going to basically have a result, whether that's good or bad. And learn a lot of techniques about different ways of fasting, different ways of eating on training days, non-training days. And the beauty of the program, it gives you a menu, but it's not forcing it on you. And if you feel that you don't want to do it, do not make that decision not to do the course, because it's the way the program is structured. It doesn't force you to do anything. It's more educating you, helping you make your own decision. And there's no one size fits all. You will find something that will fit into your working day. Like, I never thought I'd try intermittent fasting, and I found that quite beneficial for a while. Then dropped off and did other things. So, but I've now found techniques that if you do put on a couple of pounds that you didn't expect, there's ways to burn that off quite quickly without starving yourself. And the big thing about what I've found as well is that I've found a stable weight now, even though I'm not quite happy there yet. I have a bit more pushing to do. But what I've found now consistently over the last 3 months, that I'm staying at the same weight. So there is things that you will learn that helps you with all that. And I wasn't expecting that coming onto the program, to be quite honest.
Yeah, deadly. And you're touching on some great points there. If I was hoping to hit things while in a chat, you're after hitting on lots of things there, and around the nutrition side of things. So in the program, like with the strength training, it's all about building habits and building from where you are to where you want to go to. But again, as you said, it's not about forcing people to do anything. It's about educating people, showing people a pathway, showing men a pathway of how they can start to make the first change to implement stuff into their life. And you're saying you're at a stable weight there now as well. But you have lost a good bit of weight as well, haven't you? Like, I just wanted to kind of say that as well. Like, you did lose.
I started at 113.5 kilos. I'm down to
Yeah,
105, and I'm bouncing in and around that. And to be quite honest, I could be more disciplined on the nutrition, but I don't kill myself on it. And I know if I focus for 3 to 4 weeks, my goal at the start of this year was to get down to 100 kilos, which I will get to. And one of the things I've more learned with working with Mark is that, you know what, you will have a shit week. You might have a shit month where you might go up or down. You might feel like you're dropping back into old habits. But you need to basically reassess, look at why you did it, and then basically go back at it again. And that's another thing that's helped me, because in the old past, I probably would have just probably given up and stopped and then
yeah,
had to start again. So that's another big benefit of the group.
yeah. I think McGregor said it best, that you win or learn. And I think sometimes people get bogged down in failure and think maybe when they start new things, not just with training, but with different things, that it's all going to be plain sailing and your whole life is going to go perfectly around that. But like, we're working with real men. We're working with men who have other commitments outside of it. So life just gets messy sometimes.
Yeah, and you don't have to give up the things you like. If you like a beer, if you like a takeaway, if you like, I don't know, hot cross bun, whatever you feel, it's not like. And again, coming into the program, you might have that mindset that, oh Jesus, I'm going to have to give up this, 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 and this. It's not about that. You start, and then you'll find the balance. And like some weeks, you will fall off the wagon on the nutrition side, but that happens.
Yeah, yeah. And they just cut, like, we're absolutely flying it here, and I don't want to hold you all morning either. But there's a couple of things that I wanted to touch on before we finished up, was like the accountability piece around it, because I know, like, myself and yourself have had a good few chats back and forth, and the accountability piece through how the program's set up. Like, if you can just touch on the different ways.
Yeah, well, like the cornerstone of the program is the app, and the app basically gives you a flexible schedule for the week, regards to training. Then we'll have Zoom calls, which will give you sort of targets for the week, or a particular sort of like eating or training or get your steps up. And then the interaction with the group, there is accountability there. You post in. Now, there's no one putting a gun to your head to say that you have to do it. You could post up and say you did 50,000 steps and been sitting and watching Coronation Street, but the group does naturally build competition, and there is a great bit of interaction there, and guys will help you, and like there is feedback on, am I lifting too heavy, what weight are you lifting, this type of stuff, and that all, once you experience it, it just comes naturally. It's been really, really good, and it what the program has done for me, it has built a discipline and accountability into the group. Now, I will set a plan. I won't always hit it every week, but by the end of the week, I'll get my training done regardless, unless I'm sick.
Yeah,
That's what the group has given me.
yeah, yeah. And that's one thing that, well said on that. That's one thing that I wanted to kind of emphasize as well, that we have a nice community of lads here, and it's growing, it's building, and it will continue like that. But it's that kind of team environment without, like, obviously it's online. You don't have to be best friends with everybody, but lads are on a similar journey to yourself, and lads want to do the training, put in the work, and have a bit of crack as well. So that is an important feature of it. I feel, and I'm glad to hear you say that as well. Um, just a couple of things then to finish up with, Col, because I know you've made massive progress on your 5K targets and your aerobic fitness. So we just wanted to touch on that, because it seems like every week for the last couple of weeks we're after hitting personal bests.
Yeah, actually, Bill, beat me target again the other night. So as you said to me, enjoy them when they come, because you're going to plateau out. But since we started, like, we've been given different aerobic sort of targets once a week in the program, and there was variations of 5Ks, 10Ks, 3Ks, but we've been targeting conditioning and various sort of techniques to improve your speed, build up what you need to achieve. And I was running 5K over 28 and a half minutes when I started the program. The other night I beat 25 minutes down to 24:55. So that's another PB this week.
Yeah.
So and again, the program has helped as well there massively in regards to technique. So look, if you jump on board and you stick with it, there's not a scan always said to me when I started this, there's no magic overnight. It'll happen if you stick with it, and that's the truth. It just happens.
Yeah, great point there. And probably a good way to finish up as well, Colm, just if there is lads out there that are apprehensive, and like obviously on social media there's loads of different programs out there and there's different people screaming at you to do this and that, but just for anybody, any man, any lad that's apprehensive or kind of sitting on the fence a little bit about joining a program like this, would you have any kind of words around that or any words of encouragement? You can say no as well.
My perspective on the outside in, you're probably looking at it and it's marketing as lean, fit, and you might be looking at a sort of younger type person. I'm in my late 40s. I was a bit apprehensive jumping on when I be in with all the 30-year-olds and they're looking to have, pecs and being able to wear the tight t-shirts. But this program suits anyone and you can tailor it to yourself. If you get in, if you buy into it, you build a discipline. The training techniques are simplistic. Mark's always there to help you with technique through whatever way you want to basically do that through Zoom or through videos. If you get into it, I'd recommend anyone even thinking about doing it, jump in for a month, 2 months, and I guarantee you, if you do that, you'll stay on the horse.
That's deadly, Colm. Thanks a million for that. That's great to hear. I just if you stay on, Colm, I'm just going to stop the recording here now. But that's brilliant to see. That's a real man. That's Colm Walsh. That's Colm sharing his experience. I thank him very much for that. So if you are on the fence, maybe have a look through this video and you'll see the progress that Colm has made. He's somebody that lives in the real world. He has loads of other commitments as well, but he's prioritizing his health, fitness, and well-being. Okay, thanks for listening.